I could do this all day long.
If you start touching my legs, I might get too excited and will hang.
I'm absolutely amazed.
Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in to our first impressions and developer implementation video. First, you'll hear from 3 pro drivers from sim racing, esports and motorsport racing giving their initial thoughts on the Podium Direct Drive systems. Then in the second half of the video, Codemasters game developers explain how they've been working with our Direct Drive technology on F1 2019. You can buy F1 2019 for €1 or $1 with the purchase of any steering wheel on Fanatec.com. You can check out the link in the description below. Now let's hear from the pros.
Hi guys, I'm Philipp Eng. I'm a professional race driver for BMW Motorsport.
My name is Mikail Hizal and I'm a member of Team Redline and also a GT Sport driver.
Hi, I'm Enzo Bonito. I'm a McLaren Shadow F1 Esport driver and also Team Redline driver. The first impression was super smooth. The response of the steering is much quicker. It really gives you the communication between the car and the roads. You can really feel the steering wheel in your hands, also because it's super strong.
You don't need any gym after this. Honestly, I'm gaining some serious muscle right now. I think this might be better. Might be better than the car I drove. I feel like I could never do a mistake with this. I haven't crashed yet, and I have no practice, so I'm positive.
It's not only the force feedback, which is super good, but it's mainly the precision, which is definitely a performance enhancing factor. A big thing is the ride over curbs and bumps. The direct drive is much more precise. It gives you a much more realistic idea of the curb riding and also the bump riding. I think especially coming from a real race car to the simulator, this is extremely important that you have sort of the same feeling. From the steering wheel you have is always consistent throughout the whole corner, which I was not so used in the past from a simulator.
I immediately recognized the differences between this wheelbase here and the CSR Elite I got at home. If you want to attack one corner, then this wheel basically gives you more feedback about if the car is going to understeer a lot more or not, or maybe even oversteering. This is such a total new level, if I can describe it like that. Also with the high torque this wheel is giving to you, it makes so much fun to, let's say, to drive with it. Once you know how this wheel works actually, it makes so much fun and you still just want to keep driving it.
It gives you so much more reality. Especially on corner entries where you sometimes have a numb feeling on the steering wheel, where you don't really know is my car understeering or not. I now have 100% control of my front end of the car.
You can improve your lap times. The most benefit from it is that it can actually help you a lot, making you more consistent.
Feeling every single thing on the track itself, like the bump, the curbs, like how the car is behaving on each section. Yeah, and it's pretty amazing if you ask me, and I'm really looking forward to it.
I'm super excited to be sitting here today and talking about this incredible future.
Direct Drive Force Feedback is a giant leap forward to sim racers around the world, not only in the home, but for the game developers themselves. Let's hear from Lee Matter and David Greco on the advancement in wheelbase technology and what the Podium series means for the future of F1 esports.
I mean, obviously now I've been working on racing titles for over 10 years, especially the Formula One franchise, and it's been really exciting to see the evolution of racing wheels. I mean, there was the point where people didn't even have a racing wheel at home, and then we started off with, you know, fairly rudimentary gear-driven wheels, and then we moved into the belt-driven generation, and now we're getting consumer-level direct drive wheels. You know, it's something that we never thought would ever become, achievable for somebody in the home. I mean, it was always going to be cost-prohibitive. You know, these devices are able to produce and experience something which we may have experienced 5-10 years ago driving at a real simulator at one of the teams, is now an experience you can actually get very similar, just in your own home. When catering for something like a direct drive wheel, the one thing that we really have available to us then is the ability to run at a much higher force. But that's not always necessarily the best way to run. The best way is to actually get that fidelity in there. So it's the level of detail that comes through. And again, that's something that naturally comes through the systems that we implement in the game. But being able to run at those levels gives you the real Formula One experience. Obviously, the weight of a Formula One steering wheel is relatively heavy. But now we've implemented the F2 in the game, a Formula 2 car has even heavier steering feel still compared to a Formula One car. So that's the sort of thing that we can really get across when you've got that level of fidelity of a direct drive wheel.
If you have a physics that works well, the direct drive will show it right away. for us as well, in the developing, if there is something wrong with our physics with a direct drive, it's easier to spot on because you will feel something that you maybe shouldn't have felt before. One example was that I felt from time to time that there was some kind of repetitive effect that would come, like a jolt, for some reason that I couldn't feel with other wheels. And we actually found out that there was some information that was being spammed for some reason, and thanks to that we were able to find it and fix it.
Our level of tyre wear is incredibly detailed, so it may just be that a slight reduction in grip is something that you can now feel, or it may be that you've run onto the less grippy side of the circuit. You can actually feel that difference just between that 1-2% grip difference on the tarmac. It's able to process those different frequencies at such a fine level of detail. You can actually tell exactly what those tyres are doing based on whatever surface type or grip level you're running at.
You don't need all if you want, all the strength, but you can get, even if you set it very low, you can get every effect anyway, and that is something that is very hard to, maybe even impossible to reproduce with wheels that are not direct drive.
Well, to see the F1 Esports series is continuing to grow in strength, and this year the drivers are going to be using the new Fanatec Direct Drive base and licensed Formula 1 wheel, which again has been developed in cooperation with Codemasters and the F1 2019 racing game. So it's the best experience that you're going to get between Formula 1 and a wheel experience in game.
We hope you're as excited for the upcoming F1 Esports seasons as we are. For a limited time, you can pre-order a copy of F1 2019 Legends Edition for €1 or $1 with the purchase of any steering wheel on Fanatec.com. Click on the link in the description to check it out. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye!